can't see this. Oh. I'm not sure it's not this there. Hello. I think we're live. Yes, indeed, I'm certain we are. Good evening, everyone. My name's Councillor Michael Jones. I'm leader at Crawley Borough Council, and very much looking forward to my third Q&A session. And welcome to everyone who's joined. It's good to be with you. We're having a few issues with getting the text box on the live broadcast again, but we're working away at that. My elves are, at least, anyway. So there's been a lot going on, as you won't be surprised to hear. There always is, but one thing to introduce, quite big news, I think, is that we've got we've announced this morning the setting up, after the decision at Cabinet last night, of 6 winter warmers or warm spaces across the borough, which are basically for people who want to reduce their bills, or if they feel they are having difficulties with energy bills at their home, they can come along, and they can have free hot and cold drinks. There'll be a mobile device charging point for people, and there's cost of living and wellbeing information that will all be available. Help with staying warm is being provided 7 days a week by Crawley Borough Council, West Sussex County Council, and the voluntary and community sector this winter. If you visit crawley.gov.uk/winter warmers, all one word, you'll get the full timetable. And I really would like to put on record my thanks to all the CBC staff who are helping to cover these venues so that they can stay open. I don't want to make it sound like I'm bragging, but what Crawley Borough Council is doing, the scale of what we're doing, is very significant. I would argue that it would take some beating from most councils, and I'm certainly not aware of any locally that are doing what we're doing. So it is very important. Of course, the rising cost of living is having a huge impact on household finances in general. We understand that, but help is available. We've updated and improved our Money Worry section of the website, so all of the available support's in one place to make it easy to find. And of course, you can visit crawley.gov.uk/money worries, all one word, to find out more. What we can do there is there's a few options there, but obviously take a look, and I would encourage that anyway. Thank you. We are beavering away at the moment at getting the text and we have managed to do that, and the sound has come on as well, so we're getting a reverberation. Sorry if you're picking that up at home. We have managed to do that, but there we are. Yes. So, the good news now is I can see the text. So, Mark Allen has contacted me. Hello, Mark. You'd like to meet up with me about the empty shop on Tilgate Parade. Mark, always happy to meet residents. If you could email me at michael.jones@crawley.gov.uk, I'm sure we can set something up. If you could give me a brief idea of what general issue there is, then that would be good too. Just looking through the messages from the start. Good evening, Anne. Nice to be joined by you. Kevin, bad timing watching the football. Inevitably, I think, Kevin, with the World Cup being on, it's going to be very difficult to avoid a clash with the football. So, hello, Marie. Good evening. Richard asks, when are you going to clear the drains? Richard, if there's a specific problem with one of them, if you'd like to to drop us a line. If there's any long, deep-seated problems with drainage, I'm pretty certain that will be Thames Water that you'll need to address this to specifically. However, we would be able to confirm that if you contact me. So that's michael.jones@crawley.gov.uk. Right, let's just. We had an advanced question, so what I would say is that anyone who sends an advanced question, I'll try and address towards the beginning of the session, which again actually is when will you be sorting the ongoing flooding issue in the West Green Ifield underpass under the A23? I do know that this is an issue not just for that particular underpass, but that's not to understate the importance of that. Both the subways there are West Sussex County Council highways. The one between Broadfield and Southgate and Tilgate is as well. But our patch teams have cleared leaves, but the drains are blocked. Now, we've reported this to the County Council. However, if residents want to report that too, maybe give them a bit of encouragement to do something about it, they should do so either to the Love West Sussex app or the West Sussex County Council report a problem form, which are all available online. So I'll just move through. Tim Burrows, why hasn't the library a warm place not got its heating on? Even the staff are wearing coats. I'm interested to hear that, Tim. All I could say on that is that the West Sussex County Council are the council that run the libraries, and I, as the leader of Crawley Borough Council, have no sway whatsoever, sadly, over that. You could contact your county councillor if you would like them to raise it directly with the county council. Doesn't sound very impressive if you ask my honest opinion. With our winter warmer centres, Crawley Borough Council's genuinely tried to have some warm places available for people where they feel welcome going to, and I'd like to think that our library service and West Sussex County Council were at least using their facilities to do something similar, not turning the heating down. That's very interesting. I thank you for raising that with me, Tim. I might look into that further, because clearly the libraries are almost tailor-made for welcoming people in, and it concerns me to hear something like that. Okay. Hi there. Have you heard anything from West Sussex County Council about doing a Q&A session? That's from Gillian. Hello, Gillian. No is a short word. As I say, I extend my invitation to Paul Marshall or any of the cabinet, really, if they if they'd like to join me and take questions. I'm sure we could at least give it a whirl at a future Q&A. However, you do have county councillors. I am hoping we might even be able to get our elves to put a link to the county councillors webpage. And I'm sorry if anyone thinks that we, that Crawley Borough Council is passing the buck. Some of these things, if they're county council, they're just not our level of our level of responsibility, and that's just the way local government's been organised for the last 120 years. So, that's the answer to that. Jonathan, amazing work by the local council and charities to support these warm banks. Thank you, Jonathan. I totally agree. I want to pay tribute once again. I know I've said it once, but I will probably want to say it 100 times. I have asked our officers to do an incredible amount, and I am very grateful to them, and I probably don't say it often enough, but I am. Right, Jonathan then says, but for goodness sake, what a horrible state this country is in, that we need warm banks or food banks on the massive scale that we're requiring. I absolutely agree. It breaks my heart. I can think back to 20 years ago, and I think if anyone had said to you we needed a food bank, we'd have been fairly horrified, wouldn't we? Never mind that we've reached a position where we're genuinely concerned people are freezing to death. Sorry, I don't want to sound over dramatic, but effectively, if people can't warm their houses, or there's a choice between heating or eating, what does it say about things that are going on in general? I suppose I would say, Jonathan, that our role as a local council is whatever the cards that are dealt with us, whatever the situation is, that we try and do our best to react to that and deliver the very best for our community. But I certainly don't disagree with your observation, and thanks for sending it in. Paul, what a waste of 45 million for your new office. I don't recognise those figures, Paul. In fact, I'm pretty certain that that's well above what it's cost. I need to explain a bit about the new town hall, because that's what I think Paul's referring to, and that is essentially that the current town hall that I'm in, not for much longer, is getting increasingly old, showing signs of wear. It's very large, it's very energy inefficient. It was going to require an enormous amount of investment, probably ironically more perhaps than it would have cost to build a new building in order to actually bring it up to standard. And I have a responsibility to employees of the council to make sure that they they work in a decent environment. And while the current town hall has many strengths, really the service delivery that we will be able to provide at the new town hall, the technology, the customer experience is going to be very significant. And it's not a waste of money, Paul, because you've probably noticed that the new town hall is very tall. The first 2.5 floors are going to be built. We're going to have the council Crawley Borough Council occupation. The rest of them are going to be hired out to businesses at a decent rent, and we are in the process of beginning to fill those now, and there should be some announcements coming soon. I'm quite excited about that. But that income will actually help generate something which will not only pay for what we've spent in the long term to build the town hall, but it will create a regular income that will help to cover the cost of services that we provide and keep them as much at the gold standard that I believe we deliver it as a council, certainly compared to other areas, and that our residents have come to acknowledge and value. So that's the answer to that. Kevin has written in, I realise this is probably a West Sussex County Council issue, but the roundabout at the junction College Road and the boulevard has awful markings. Lane 1 is left turn, but if you were in lane 2 to go straight over, you will automatically cut in front of anyone in lane 1. I think it probably is a county council issue, Kevin, and in terms of some of the things that motorists will face, I'm possibly not the best person to give my experience of that, but I think what I can do is we'll check and see if it is a county council issue, and we'll also reflect. I mean, my elves are nodding vigorously that it is, but if there is anything that perhaps we can input into what's going on, we can certainly have a think about that. But I can't give you a response just now. Naheem has written in, hello Naheem, I'm a council tenant and live in Sunnymead Flats. I was wondering if any bike sheds can be fitted, as it's difficult living on the first floor and with no lift. Hello Naheem, and I dare say Crawley Homes aren't terribly keen on you having bikes in the communal areas either, if I know how these things work. So that sounds like a nice suggestion. Naheem, can I ask you a favour? Can you email me at michael.jones@crawley.gov.uk, and hopefully one of the elves can put my email address in the chat. So basically, if you can write to me on that, I will refer it to our our officers in Crawley Homes who will certainly look at it and will tell us if that's possible. And I can't see why not. Okay, right. Well, I keep your questions coming in. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to just give a few more little announcements of what's going on or what you can do. Can I give another plug for e-billing? You can sign up now to receive your bills from the council via email. It's certainly faster and it saves on printing and postage costs, which will in the long term have a favourable impact on people's council tax. It also reduces the use of paper and envelopes, so again, it's not bad for the environment either. You can sign up now on My Crawley on our website, especially designed by the Crawley Borough Council for interaction, which is at my.crawley.gov.uk. And for e-billing, you can get it for services including your council tax, business rates, the allotments, green bins, leasehold services, premises licences, taxi licences and Lifeline. So if you can sign up, you'll be helping the council and probably not having to hunt down bits of paper from months back as well. You can do that, as I said, at my.crawley.gov.uk. Another plug now as well. Very excited about this, and not just because I'm one of the ward members, ward councillors for the area, but something that's going ahead is some significant investment in the playground at the Mill Pond in Bewbush. We're going to transform the Mill Pond site into a high quality unsupervised play area, and we want to hear your views. And the consultation for that starts tomorrow. So it's a very opportune time to be mentioning this. The proposed plan is going to significantly expand the play provision. It's going to create a memorable play experience and restore the site to a sustainable condition. I've seen a sneak preview of the plans that the officers have put forward. I'm very excited about it. I think that young people in the area are going to be incredibly pleased when it's there. But we want to make it the best place for families to enjoy. I've always said the Mill Pond playground is right next to, obviously, the Mill Pond, and it is such a beautiful environment that it is anything we can do to encourage people to take the most of some of the real rich and diverse resources we have in Crawley. So much the better. You can have your say online at crawley.gov/consultation. Please do so before the 16th of December. Or you can see plans and give your views at the Bewbush Centre in person on Thursday the 8th of December from 5:30 to 7:30, Saturday the 10th of December from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, or Wednesday the 14th of December from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. So that's something to look forward to. Right, Sarah Jane has asked, why do you need to put up the rents of garages when you don't do anything to them unless asked? Usually 3 times in my experience. Well, sorry Sarah if you've not had the best experience of getting something done with your garage. Unfortunately, given our financial situation and the fact that our garages are tending to get quite old now, we need to do things that will help pay for the service and ensure that it can continue for everyone. We've also tried to make it a bit fairer. There is a waiting list in some areas for garages. But Sarah, if you or anyone with a garage ever has any particular problems to do with your area, I know Mario and the team are very committed and will be very saddened if you feel you haven't had something done. So, but you can always email me at michael.jones@crawley.gov.uk, and what I can do is I will certainly look into that for you. So thanks for that. Right, okay. What I'm going to do now is just give a plug about a few events that have happened recently and are going to happen. Can I give a plug now? It's on now until the 22nd of December. The festive village that's in the high street, I need to go down there myself. That's a traditional festive village with log cabins, and it's going to be home, or it is home, to a range of independent small businesses with great gifts, ideas, delicious food, festive treats and presents, music, more. That's been organised by the Crawley Town Centre bid, and that, as I said, I need to go down and see that myself. I think it started quite recently, today, in fact, I'm told so by my elf. So, but thank you for that. What I would say is that don't forget the high street. I think with a lot of shoppers these days, it can get overlooked. But saying that, there's still plenty going on down there, and the high street, I think we're lucky because of the historic roots of the high street compared to the rest of the new town. Is probably one of the most picturesque and pleasant high streets in a town that I've ever been to. So it's a really lovely backdrop to what will be going on. And in Saturdays in December, if you feel like hearing a bit of carol singing all through December in the Memorial Gardens, there's going to be carol singing, so you can get into the festive spirit and join in with some popular Christmas carols. So that's very nice indeed as well. I'm saying nice a lot tonight. I probably am. No, I'll stop that. Yeah. There are other synonyms for that. Right now, Carol's written in. Hello, Carol. Squires Roundabout is like a lake at the moment. It's always the same when it rains heavy. Again, I'm pretty sure that's the West Sussex County Council that are responsible for flooding on the roads. If the I didn't see it, but if the county councillors list is on, you could contact them. Of course, you can always contact West Sussex County Council on the contact details I mentioned earlier on as well. Right. June. Hello, June. Why can I not get permission to pollard the lime tree on my property to a sensible height? Yet trees are being chopped down and cut right back elsewhere. I think it depends, June, on your on whether you've got a tree protection order on your particular tree, and obviously those trees have been assessed as being valuable and need a bit more regulation to them by our planning authorities. Now, if you want to write to me at michael.jones@crawley.gov.uk and raise a query as to particularly why you feel you're being prevented, I will certainly try and get an explanation or see what we can do about it. Yeah, you rightly raised that trees are being chopped down and cut back elsewhere. But what I would say is there could be a number of reasons for that. Trees often get diseased. We've got a major issue with what's called ash dieback in the borough at the moment, which is desperately sad. And I know that our council, our arboriculturalists, are incredibly sad about it themselves. None of our trees, I can assure residents, ever get chopped down lightly. We're very proud of our trees. Crawley's got a huge number. I think it's 750,000, which is well above average for any sort of council area of our size and our urban sort of nature. But as I said, June, if you can let me know, I'm sure we can work something out. Well, if that's possible under the restrictions. Okay, Mark says the reason I want to meet up with you is Tilgate needs a post office. I have to go to Southgate shops to post my Christmas cards internationally. I do apologise. I'm sad to hear that, Mark. All I can say to that is that it is very much out of the council's control as to what goes into the parade, in terms of we can't dictate to the post office where they make their arrangements. The post office very much made their own decision that they were going to close the Crown Post Office in the town, much to my extreme displeasure, and decided they were going to do this. But they have a business model that works on it, working in conjunction to other businesses that are on parades, and if they don't want to do it, or the post office isn't making it worthwhile for them, I'm sorry, but that's not something immediately that the council can do. I know we've got a similar issue on Furnace Green because Martin McColl's closed down, and again, there is not an awful lot the council can do, and in fact, to be honest with you, it's probably a national matter. When all these commercial freedoms were allowed, I think it went too far by the government, and we are reaping what they sowed, sadly. Okay, yes, the county councillors are now on the chat for anyone who'd like to contact them. Okay, Lisa has indicated, I'm guessing you're a tenant, Lisa, about Crawley repairs you refer to. Lisa, if you've got an issue, and I think you might have written to me, please do write to me again at michael.jones@crawley.gov.uk. If it was you, I thought we had this resolved, but if not, then I certainly would take an interest in what's going on there, Lisa, and I always do for any of our tenants, as my housing officers will confirm. Okay, Mark, the email address to call is michael.jones@crawley.uk. Anne has asked, are you still offering the solar panel scheme? And I am going to have to consult my elves on that to get an answer. I think I've just been told the elves have beaten me to the reply to you there, Anne, so hopefully that will be of help to you there. Right, keep your questions coming in. It'll be Dorota's question next, but what I want to do before I go on to that is just to give another plug for Tilgate Park's magical Christmas events, which are on the 3rd to the 4th, the 10th to the 11th, the 17th to the 18th, and the 19th to the 23rd of December. You can bring the family along for a wonderful event to Tilgate Park for some festive fun. They can visit Santa's Grotto and even have brunch with the big man himself. Plus, there's a range of stalls selling food and drink, seasonal crafts and gifts, as well as funfair rides. And this is my theatre's performance of The Nutcracker and the Mouse King on 3rd of December, which sounds very good, actually. So don't miss out. You can book your tickets today. There is a charge for that. Visit tilgateparkchristmas.co.uk. So I'll say that again. tilgateparkchristmas, all one word, .co.uk. In fact, hopefully the elves will put that in the chat so everyone can see where that is. Okay. Dorota has asked me any updates about the hot compost bin, please, or any alternatives. I think I'm going. Dorota, if you could email me, I think I can confirm this, but we do think that this actually was an initiative quite some time ago now, and if it was, then I'm not sure it's still going. So yeah, okay. Okay, Raggy Doll. Okay, again, all I would say to any of our tenants who might have issues with repairs, if you email me at michael.jones@crawley.gov.uk, I do promise it will get attention. And if you specifically can tell me what it is you're not happy with, I can do something about that. Okay. Robert has written in, why is no one picking up recycling waste from Deerswood Court, RH11OHE, Ifield for 2 weeks? Robert, if there's an issue with missed bins, not that you should need to do it, I agree, but although our refuse team are very dedicated and do try their best, it's inevitable that they're going to miss things from time to time. But saying that, you can report missed bins on my.crawley, but my Crawley. You can also phone the general helpline to get the contact centre at Crawley Borough Council, which is 01293 43 800, I believe. All the handy numbers are yes, a bit far away from my eye line, so I will ask one of my elves to move them over. Thank you. Yeah, that's great. So, oh yes, and I should mention anyone who doesn't want to use me as a post box, you can contact Crawley Repairs directly yourself on 01293 438 111. So I think that those are two very handy numbers to have. I will move down, ask a few more questions now. I hope that answers your question, Robert. You can email me as well if you like, and I can refer it to someone. But to be honest, it might be quicker to use the service. They're very good in my experience. In fact, if they get told on a certain time, I think the teams are usually back fairly promptly to pick it up. They always have, on the very few occasions been missed at my one. Okay. You had to wait to get through, did you, Lisa? Well, Lisa, as I said, if you want to email me rather than wait on the phone, I will. I promise you, I will ask for a prompt reply to any issue you raise with me. Okay. Right. Hello, Chris. I did get back to you. It was today. Unfortunately, your email. Your email. Didn't come through that clearly, and I'm not sure why. And I had to track it down because you did phone you did phone the contact centre earlier today, and I did check, and unfortunately it hit my spam folder for whatever reason. Sorry about that. And although I do try and check it, I didn't seem to pick that one up, but I have picked it up now and given you an answer. I am going to need a few more details from you, I'm afraid, because I wasn't quite clear from what you wrote in your email what specifically it was that I needed to do. Sorry if that's me being not particularly bright, but unfortunately we have to work with that. Right. Anne has written in, I need to redo my garage contract. Can I do it online or do I have to do the paper copy? Unfortunately, Anne, I think the answer to that is yes, you do have to do the paper copy because there's been a few things that we needed to get straightened out legally, and I know I know that that's a pain, but everyone has had a prepaid envelope, so and everyone does need to send back a signed agreement on that. So we will save everyone with the prepaid envelope, the postage, obviously, but I know it's an additional trip to the post box, which I can only apologise for any inconvenience, but there we are. Emma has written in, I thought the mill pond was being demolished. Well, it is interesting what gets said. I think at one point, couple of years ago, the council was having some issues, and unfortunately we weren't able to continue running the supervised play areas that Crawley Borough Council had provided, and the Mill Pond playground was one of those areas that was affected. But and I did have quite a lot to say about this at the time. We definitely realised as a council that we had a magnificent asset at the Mill Pond, and we were looking very carefully to see how we could use that and it wouldn't get demolished, and we could do something even better. And I'm delighted to say that we're now working with a local community interest company called Aspire Castle. We're able to invest some things in the play equipment, which will be really good. And as I said, for anyone who's interested in that, please do look at the consultation tomorrow. I think hopefully you'll be as pleased as I was when I saw it. But no, I can say, Emma, without a shadow of a doubt, the Mill Pond playground is most emphatically not being demolished. And of course we do value our playgrounds and play areas in Crawley, and we're always looking to see what we can do, because we know that our young children they need somewhere to play and enjoy themselves, and that's an important way of delivering it. We do have other play areas across the as well as pocket parks, and we definitely would encourage. Cherry Lane, of course, up in Langley Green. There's been some good investment going on there. and I know that that's been received very well by residents who live up in that part of the world as well. Okay, I'll just keep scrolling down. It would help if the right. It would help if it didn't freeze. I think you're okay. Kevin asks, what can be done to improve the market in Crawley? Horsham is so good with great stalls. Yes, I mean I can't argue with that. The Carfax, I think in Horsham is in fairness really well made for this whole thing. And I suppose traditionally as a market town, it probably was built with that in mind, wasn't it? But we've had a long running challenge with the markets in Crawley, Kevin, because you may well remember, in fact I'm sure you will, it used to be on the high street, but unfortunately because of the changing nature of the high street, the footfall just wasn't there, and the market traders did want us to put them somewhere where people were actually walking by, because they were saying that it was more and more difficult for them to make a living. Yeah, to be honest, it's interesting you mention this, because I've been giving it a lot of thought recently, and thank you for giving me a little bit of a nudge, because I might well have a chat with our chief executive, Natalie Brahma Pearl, about that. That I certainly think I'm very open-minded to what we could do with the market in Crawley. We've done a lot in the town centre now to bring it up to scratch, and I think a few years ago you'll probably remember the town centre, Queen Square, Queensway, places like that were in transition quite significantly, with all the work that was going on to improve it. So that wasn't the right time. Maybe now is. We'll look into it, Kevin, and and if and hopefully maybe we can move that forward. I'd be interested to know what people's views are, actually, either in the chat or you can email me if you like. What do people think about the market? Is it in the right place? Does it do enough? Is there anything you'd like us to be doing? I suppose maybe I won't like the answers, but I suppose it's important I know about it. So thanks anyway for raising that, Kevin. And we haven't closed our minds to anything, I can certainly tell you that. Okay. Right, I'm just going to give another plug now. On the 17th of December, get your diaries out. There's a really quite excellent event, I think, going on for all the family on the 17th of December in the High Street, called a Frozen Fever Party from 1 till 7. Now that is not an opportunity to get hypothermia. I hope not. Anyway, it is around the Disney film, which is Frozen. So I was going to say Fever for a second. There's no such film called Fever in Disney. The Frozen, which it will take place between the two films. Come and meet and have a picture taken with the princesses. Plus, enjoy the entertainment, get glitter tattoos, and much more. So Frozen, the original film, will be starting at 1 p.m. and then Frozen 2 at 3:30 p.m. I'm really very impressed with the outdoor cinema we do at the High Street, and it's always a real treat, I think, for families when we do it. So it's a real feather in the cap for Crawley Borough Council and the town bids, I think, for getting that done. So well done. Full details, of course, of all our events, if I fail to mention any, they are on. You can visit on our website, crawley.gov.uk/events, that's something certainly to think about. Michael's written in. Hello, Michael. There's a mural in the walled garden in Tilgate Park honouring the dead of the First World War. There are rumours it is to be painted over. Is this true? If yes, then why? Can it not be retouched? Michael, I just want to confirm that no final decision's been made about the mural in the walled garden. It was put up for the centenary of the First World War back in 2018, and I think the original arrangement was it would stay up. I'm told it would stay up for the year. No doubt some people will dispute that with me, but that is what I was told. As I said, no final decisions have been taken on this. We are looking with our community development team to see if there's a way to actually preserve the image of it, because it is an artwork, and also if perhaps that could be displayed, if we can get that reproduced somewhere, that it might be even better to be placed in. But we're looking at it, and I want to. Someone wrote to me the other day, we're going to paint Christmas pictures over it, which is absolute rubbish. That's not happening. And we will be talking to people, and as I said, nothing's going to happen on this without people hearing further. Right. Yes, Jonathan, there are quite a few things that and problems, complaints that lay in the hands of West Sussex County Council. Most things to do with parking on residential streets will be West Sussex County Council. I don't agree with you, Mark. I think if you require evidence of us out and about every week, you only have to go to my website where we're talking to residents. Not my website, my Facebook page. Okay. Yep. The Tilgate Park Magical Christmas is there. Right. Right. Can you tell me what the answer to the solar panels question is, please? That will be coming, I think. We're putting a link on, Carol, for you that you can look it up. There is something available, I think, but it's on the County Council's website. It's, of course, they're running it, aren't they? Yes. Okay. Can we have seats going up Titmus Drive? Mark asks. You mean a bench? Make a note of that, Mark, and I see what's possible. Right, okay. Just looking through the chat now. Otherwise, I'm going to start telling you what I've been doing recently. Okay, thanks, Chris. Yeah, Chris, if you could email me back, I'll be able to forward on anything to the right area. Okay. Let's have a look. Okay. Yes. It's been quite a busy little while for me. I was again present at the Remembrance Day celebrations, or commemorations, I should say, at St John's Church, which I was on Sunday last week, and that was, as always, very moving. And Steve Burston, the minister, always organises an exceptionally decent event, and it was very well attended, and that was good to see. I was very grateful beforehand. The Veterans Breakfast Club in Crawley invited myself and the mayor to their pre service breakfast at the Swan in West Green. That was very pleasant, and thank you to all concerned. Hopefully some money was raised for veterans charities there as well. I also recently went to Crawley Baptist Church, where Relates held in excellent venue for Relate celebrating its 60th anniversary of being in Crawley, and we've got quite a proud history in Crawley with Relate. We were the area that set it up, and it serves most of the rest of West Sussex now from those origins. And it was lovely to meet everyone. It was a great event, and it was good to celebrate that landmark. It really was. Also, at the weekend, I had the opportunity to go and visit the West of Ifield campaigners who had their stall at County Mall, and it was good to talk to them and confirm very much that Crawley Borough Council is opposed to the proposals by the government agency Homes England to apply to Horsham District Council for 10,000 houses to be built on the golf course and in the countryside west of Ifield Village. And we will continue to do that. We have admittedly been sent a letter to Mid Sussex District Council as well recently, expressing our concern about development on the fringes of Crawley, which would demolish half of Ware Forest. It feels like it would anyway. But that doesn't mean that we're not opposed to many of these developments that seem to be massing on Crawley's borders from other councils. But we retain a dialogue with those councils, and we will certainly continue to speak up for the interests of residents here throughout that all. That's certainly another thing that happened at the weekend. It was a busy weekend for me. Was I had the great honour of joining the mayor at the British Down Syndrome Association swimming championships, which were being held at K2 Crawley in Tilgate last weekend. That was another very successful event, and I know that the organisers were very pleased with it, and so much so that they have an arrangement where they'll be going back for the next 2 years. We could well have been watching some of the Paralympians of the future there, so I wish them a lot of luck, and I know it generated a lot of goodwill, and very good to see. Can I also give a plug to the stalwarts of the Phoenix Choir in Crawley? I was very lucky to go to St Andrew's Church in Furness Green recently, and hear a wonderful recital which included Vaughan Williams, and they've got something coming up again soon. So I certainly enjoy it, and I know everyone there did. It's a great event, and it's worth celebrating if you can, or supporting, I should say, if you can. I'll certainly celebrate it. That's lovely. Well, I think that's probably my list of things that I can think of immediately. I suppose the only other thing was I did have the great pleasure last week of having a tour around some of our parks with Chris Mullins, the Cabinet Member for Wellbeing, whose responsibility is the parks, and that was really nice. Even at this time of year, in this challenging weather, our parks were not just in good condition. I would go as far as say they were immaculate, and some very interesting things going on. I got the opportunity to go to the Bewbush Water Gardens, to the Mill Pond. It's always a pleasure to go to my ward and see some of the great council facilities that we provide. We also went up to Worth Park, and that was very nice as well. There's some wonderful conservation work that's been done there. There's been some tree planting as well, which is also very good, and we're going to be talking more about tree planting for Tilgate Park quite soon, so watch that space. That's definitely in the works. And we also went down and had a look at Broadfield Park, which is another little hidden gem. It's one of our small parks, like West Green Park, and I say a small park, it's not that small, but it's not as large as Goss Park or Tilgate Park, but real hidden gem there. And just another reminder of how much really wonderful things are tucked away in Broadfield in the borough, and this is in Broadfield, and it's right on many people's doorsteps. Although it is on the edge of Broadfield, it is really quite a special place. I know it's very popular with young families in summertime in particular. And it was nice to speak to the parks team that tend these areas, and it was nice to just see that everything was going so well. So my thanks to everyone in the parks team. I have said it before, but again I need to say it 100 times. We need to be incredibly proud of the work that goes into our parks, and the huge number of green flags we've got for individual parks as well. Certainly demonstrates to me that there's huge advantage, there's huge achievements that are going on here. Kevin has asked, who can we lobby to request an improvement to number 2 bus route from K2 to Ifield? It would be great if alternative buses continued up-wheel drive to pick up from the top end of Furness Green. It could turn left at Hawth Roundabout and join the existing route. I need to talk to them myself, but all bus arrangements are ultimately the responsibility the bus company providers in Crawley. We don't have much of a say as a council, although I'm very happy to talk to the management, and Nick Hill, their sales, their commercial director, and I think I haven't given them the wrong title. And if anyone does want to email me with any points, I'm well overdue actually a meeting with the Metrobus team, and I do want to talk to them because I've got my own thoughts about some of the bus services, as Nick will know. But I take your point, Kevin. I will make a note of what you're saying, and when I meet them, I will pass that on. I'm sure there's an email for customer services at Metrobus as well, which I might see if my elves can get before the chat before the session finishes. But we're getting quite close to time. So if you've got any questions, please get them in now, because our allotted hour is drawing to the close. Emma, thank you. The last I heard, this is Emma. Emma says, thank you, Michael, regarding the Mill Pond play area. The last I heard Peter wanted rid, so I'm glad they changed their mind. There can never be enough things for children in Crawley. I think that would be a harsh description of Peter's wishes, if not inaccurate, Emma. Peter Lamb never went into politics to shut playgrounds down, and I can assure you of that. I know him very well. He's a good friend of mine, and we were just looking to see what we could do. Unfortunately, it did mean that the play area closed for a while, and we did have to talk seriously about its future, which isn't ideal. But I can assure you, wherever we can do something, Emma, we're constantly talking to our council officers about our alternatives and our options and what's available. And in this case, there was a really happy ending for Mill Pond and the play area, and I'm so pleased about that. And again, when it is open and it's done and we've had the consultation and it's built, I really hope people will use it. Not just from Bewbush. I think it's going to be a resource that you'd come to from anywhere in the borough, or possibly outside, to come and enjoy it. Okay, right. Moving on. Elmer's written in. If it's possible, please put a couple of bins at the bus stop at Lowfield Heath bus stop. I'm not. Bear with me. The elves are saying something to me. I'll just listen. Oh, apparently we've already done that, Elmer. It's already actioned. In terms of we're doing it, or we're looking at it. We've passed it on. We've passed it on to the right people, Elmer. So rest assured, if that's possible, I'm sure it will be looked on sympathetically. Lisa gives her view. The market would be better in the town centre, and even an indoor market. There's so many empty shops. Well, I think I'm right in saying that with the overall improvement work that's going on at the Decathlon building, there might be some scope for something like that. But we're still looking into that, I think. There's we certainly will look at the town centre in general. There might be a better place for the market. As I said, I'm open-minded to that. No doubt, officers have been looking at this, and I'll come off the meeting. I'll come off this live chat, and I'll be told what I've not taken into account. But we will see. Right. Michael, could you answer my question number 4, please? I think I answered your question earlier on, Michael. I'm going back up. Is that the one on the mural? I did answer that. So this, by the way, if it's any reassurance, and I don't want to repeat myself, Michael, because there's other people listening. This will be kept on Facebook for posterity. We're certainly not going to do anything with it, and in terms of deleting it, I mean, and it will also go up on YouTube for those of you who are YouTubers. That's very exciting, isn't it? And that will also stay up there for quite some considerable time. So you'll be able to watch it back one of those two ways, Michael. Daniel has written in. Um, Lovely. Thank you, Daniel. Yes, these things happen. I appreciate whenever we held this, unfortunately, it will probably not be ideal for everyone. So that's why we do know that a lot of people don't watch it live. They watch it back later, and they always can do. And as I say, if you still have your questions, you can always email me at michael.jones@crawley.gov.uk, and I will do that. I will answer that for you. But so it doesn't need to be done in real time. Right, Mark's had a suggestion about the market. The market, some of those, I think there's a bit of a misconception, Mark, that Crawley Borough Council owns all the units in in the town centre. We simply don't own the retail units. They're all owned by private companies, insurance companies, property holding companies, and we really don't we really don't have any control over the empty shops in themselves. There's very few retail units we have, including we do not own the Morrison store, which Carol has asked about. Is anything planned for the old Morrison store? I wish it was, Carol, is the short answer. As far as I'm aware, and the elves are aware, nothing is planned for the store, which is a tremendous shame. I walk past it frequently, and I do see the untapped potential there, and feel very sad about that. Crawley needed a good large town centre supermarket. It doesn't quite have that at the moment. Aside from Asda, but I would argue that because of Asda's size, it's a bit of a stroll to get there, and Morrison's is the old Morrison's building was certainly a good place. I do think it's very sad as well. I think I'm correct in saying that Morrison's worked out it was cheaper for them just to pay the rent than it was to actually run it as a going concern, which astonishes me, quite honestly. But as a result, I'm not aware of anything that's going to happen for it in the foreseeable future. But I would be very supportive of something if it was to be used in a constructive way. I'd be very pleased to see that happening. It's a great shame that it's still closed after all this time. Right, I think we are out of questions. I think everyone has asked their questions for the time being. In which case, can I thank everyone for joining us? I just want to say as well, although I do acknowledge there's been a lot of justified controversy over the World Cup being held in Qatar this year, that there is still a World Cup on, there is still a tournament. Gareth Southgate, who's the manager of the England team, is very much a local Crawley boy, and we do wish him very much success, and the national team. The Cross of St George will be flying for the duration of the tournament outside the new town hall on our brand new flag poles there, that I'm also very pleased about. We wish the team great success, and I'm sure that's not a controversial view. Well, I suppose it is in football, isn't it? Certainly, sort of anyone in some of the other nations, maybe it is. But okay, Mick has a suggestion for the Morrison store. Again, Mick, it doesn't sound like a bad idea to me, but it is entirely out of the council's hands. It would have to be up to the private company that owns it to take up your suggestion. Right, in that case, I'm looking at the time, and we've timed that quite well. It is 29 minutes past 6. We will be back, and I cannot quite remember when we're back, but the elves will remind me. I'll be back for my Q&A, with or without West Sussex County Council, in December. And I think the date is it is Monday the 19th. Yes, we've tried to move it back from the traditional Thursday. The established three sessions we've done so far Thursday. We're going to try and do it on a Monday, so it's a bit further away from Christmas, because we think people's minds will start to to drift towards Christmas at that after that point. So thank you very much. As I said again, you can keep your questions coming. I would just say, just to remind everyone of the useful numbers again, you have you have the general helpline, which is 01293 438 000. You have Crawley Homes if you're a tenant and want repairs. That's 01293 438 111. If you've got a crime and antisocial behaviour issue, you could try our wardens on 07884 492 324. Although I would also encourage you, if it is a crime, if it's an emergency, call 99. If it's a non-emergency, call 111. Yeah, that's right. And if there's any issues with pest control, you can ring our general number. So anyway, thanks again. Keep well in the meantime, everyone. Hope to see everyone next time. And stay well, stay safe, and take care. All the best. Goodbye now. I haven't switched it off. I don't know how. Take care.